did a lot of work to only get shut down, or to get it changed last minute. I mean, I can't imagine kind of what they've had to go through and working with counties and doing politics. I mean, I don't even want to imagine what they've had to do and what they're probably going to have to go through even doing these races. I'm sure a lot of people are, let's hope everyone's going to be really understanding and realize that it's not going to be like it was before, maybe with sign-ins, or that we can only have a certain amount of mechanics and things like that. I mean, I hope everyone just realizes we do kind of live in a different world at the moment, and things going back to completely normal, and we probably won't see for a while, so we're all going to have to adjust. And I'm just extremely happy that on both sides of the spectrum that we are able to race and get back to a little bit of normality and a little bit of competition. And I think once everyone gets through the teething phase, the practice days, I'm sure tensions will be high. Oh my God, I might miss a practice session or something, how everyone is. But once we get to the racing and everyone's kind of in form of the new deals and going on, I'm sure everyone will be happy to be out there and just I just hope we all don't get lost on what we think should be or what it might be, and it might be something different than we all think,
Yeah, and I need to do a little reading up on the Pro Kart one. I didn't realize they came out with a date for Willow Springs, so that should be good. I need to get that
it's literally the weekend
calendar.
before. I don't know if they came out with it officially. I mean, I've heard through my sources, and so I don't know if I guess it's not a secret. I mean, I saw someone post a picture of the SCUSA website with the dates on it and everything. So on, I think it was Instagram or something. So obviously it's not that big of a secret.
Yeah, no,
it shouldn't be.
I'll get the calendar
I
updated for that one. So you're gonna have you're actually gonna be pretty busy here in the next couple weeks. I mean, you have just back to back.
Yeah. So I mean, I actually have a driver coming in from Utah to do some testing this week, and then we'll all test with our team throughout the week. I have some new prototype parts that I need to test. So I'm going to be testing those. Obviously, we're going to have some pretty high heat this week, and I installed next week. It'll be more mild temperatures, so I'll probably go out to Dixon and do a little driving myself to test these prototype pieces and start gearing up. I know it seems like we haven't even started 2020 yet, but we have to try to keep ahead of the curve on the development and everything with the GFC carts. So looking forward to 2021 and trying to get a step ahead on that stuff and seeing, trying to develop and have everything ready for next year.
Yeah, it's exciting because, I mean, we have, I know you were out at Dixon, was it this past weekend or last weekend? So Dixon's opened up to their members, and you've been going up to Reading. Reno's been open. So hopefully here shortly we'll be able to have all the tracks wide open again.
Yeah, no, I heard something like that Sonoma has a Trans Am race scheduled for June or July or something like that. So I would figure if the big truck's having a Trans Am race, I mean, the go-kart track could be open too. So maybe we can start kicking off the Sonoma Sun Zero races, possibly, and maybe KPX can throw in a race. I mean, I'm sure once it starts going, everyone is going to start complaining there's too many races and they're all stacked on top of each other. But I mean, what can the series do? I think we're all going to have to just pick and choose where our customers really want to go. And yeah, it's going to be stressful. It's probably going to be nonstop, but I mean, it's better than what we had a couple of months ago when we're all sitting here wondering what we're going to do. So, I mean, be careful what we all wish for, I guess you could say.
That's right. Yeah. Well, is there anything you want to wrap up with?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I guess how you originally played it out to me, you wanted to know a little bit how I started my company, or
Yeah,
or how that kind of came about,
absolutely.
how GFC kind of came about. I don't know.
Yeah, because where do we left off last week where um, you were a factory driver for FK? Is that correct? And at one
Yeah,
event you got
I think
turned into
yeah.
the mechanic.
Well, yeah, I think we kind of left it off. I went to Vegas, and I got deported. I think we left it off there. I was deported. I worked with. Then they had me work with Leading Edge and Greg Bell for a couple months. That
Yeah.
I was here in the States, and basically, the factory was still paying me, but I was just working with one of their dealers, obviously close to me in California. That'd be Greg Bell. So I helped him out leading up to the Super Nationals. I ran the Super Nationals. They offered me, kind of a bogus deal in my opinion. So I kind of left it as I wanted to really kind of see what I thought that I was worth to them. And I told them that I was I had an opportunity to go to Brazil and do the Granja 500 with Rubens Barrichello's team. And they kind of like, well, yeah, that kind of breaches your contract, this, that, and the other thing. And I asked them, maybe a different deal than they first offered me, and the deal was their offer was not going to change. So I obviously broke my contract of going and racing in this, I think it was the beginning of December over in Brazil with Rubens Barrichello's team. And that was a pretty cool deal because beginning of the year we raced each other in the Florida Winter Tour, and I won the championship. And winning the championship, you get the ticket for the Rock final over in Italy. But being that I had an A license, I wouldn't be able to do that race. Nor I don't think the IPK factory would have me do that race anyways. So I had to, but I told Garrett about this, and he's like, well, you have to formally give it to the second place guy with your situation. It's like, say I'm going to give it to this, the runner up guy who happened to be Rubens. So on the podium, I told Garrett, okay, I'll give it up to him right away. So I gave it up to him, and Rubens is really, we all know Rubens is, the coolest guy probably ever in motorsports, and he's really thankful. And we kind of built up a little bit of a rapport racing each other, and he's an awesome guy. Became a little bit of friends, and he's like, dude, he was really thankful for it. And I thought, hey, if I'm giving him something, I'll try to get something back. Just kind of jokingly, I'm like, all right, dude, I'm giving you the ticket to this race, but you got to find me a spot on that Granja 500, on a good team though. I don't want to go there on a second-rate team. I want to go to win. It's my last bucket list race. I want to go to win. He's like, oh, you can race on my team. I'm like, handshake deal. He's like, handshake deal. You're racing on my team. And all right, cool, awesome. And normally, okay, I've seen that he's won the race a few times, his team and everything. I'm like, okay, obviously a good team. And I really didn't hear from Rubens. Obviously, we followed each other on social media, liking each other's pictures, comment here and there. But I guess I never really thought about it, and then the whole deportation thing, and then Super Nats, and thinking, oh man, maybe I won't be able to get back over to Europe, or I won't be able to get a good ride there again. I kind of forgot about it, to be honest. And then Rubens, what was it? It was probably right after Super Nats. Literally a couple days after Super Nats. And he's like, hey, dude, I need your suit measurements. I'm like, oh, okay. And he's like, yeah, I need your suit measurements. You got your visa and everything, right? You're coming. These are the days you should come for practice and all this stuff. I'm like, all right, I guess this is happening, right on. We're going to the Granja 500. And that was one of the coolest experiences. I think anyone that's gone over there probably has the same thing to say, the passionate, the way the race is run, and how many spectators there, and how many, the television, with being every Brazilian motorsport superstars at that race, and we were running third the most race. Kind of got lucky with two guys crashing each other out, and they started fighting on the track, and and all this stuff, and all the mechanics, like, went on the track. And I was actually driving on the track when all this happened. I'm like, man, this is crazy. I'm like literally dodging people out on the track going full tilt, and there's people fighting on the track. This is insane, right? And it was pretty cool. We won the race. I mean, huge fireworks, the confetti on the podium, champagne, the whole deal. It was really cool. While, you get interviewed with Brazilian national television, and it was a really cool moment. And I was flying back, and I'm like, did the bucket list race, last bucket list race. I did the Florida Winter Tour. That was there was like 2 bucket lists, checked them off in 1 year. Was lucky to win both. I was like, what? There's nothing else. There's nothing that really excites me to go other than, to go back to Europe. But if, you don't have a quality team behind you, or the quality engines, or the quality materials, I mean, you're never going to win. And, I had done enough time kind of being second fiddle, and I'm just like, no, we got to do something else. We got to do something else. And it was literally on the flight home, I said, you know what, I think I had enough experience. And if there's a time to do it where, my name might mean a little bit, or some people still might remember me, it's now. So I literally got home, and I started drawing up and calling a few select manufacturers, and started drawing up plans to get a few carts over here to California and start testing. And I mean, I literally, from January 2018, I started with a toolbox. I didn't have anything. I didn't have a van. I didn't have anything but a truck that, my dad, I inherited from my dad after his passing, and a toolbox. And that was it. And so, I started talking with a few manufacturers, tested, numerous carts made by different manufacturers. And, I got my first shipment in, I believe, in the beginning of March, and, a few others in April and May. And to be honest, while I was doing this, I was, mechanicking and coaching for people, to generate revenue at the time. And it was no secret, especially up in NorCal, like, people had to know what I was doing. You show up with a go-kart with no paint, but, body with no graphics or anything. I mean, and I think even I did a few test runs of the engraving with my logo and everything. I mean, people knew what I was doing, or maybe they didn't know the whole story, but I mean, people in NorCal, it was evident, and a lot of times after races that I would mechanic for somebody, I would have the cart there, for the Monday after, and test the Monday after, and so just building it up. And to be honest, I didn't know. I mean, the original plan when I first started in January, I'm like, man, I don't have anything. It's going to take me a year, maybe, to just get everything, being a race support vehicle, get all the inventory, basically get everything you need to start a kart company, right? I mean, we're literally starting from ground zero, and I didn't know how long the development process of the kart would take, to be honest, in the sense of, I mean, I didn't want to put out anything with my name on it that I didn't know that could, win right off the bat, because we all know in the karting world, you have one bad race, especially if it's your first race, they're automatically everyone, yep, it's no good. Even though maybe if you had, a bad weekend, or, there can be so many other factors, but they're all just going to look at it and say, nope, no good. So, but luckily, I mean, it was around, I would say July. I mean, I had decided to who I was going to be working with, and who was going to be all my vendors, who was going to be producing my kart. I had decided to work with TB Kart, being my outstanding relationship with them over in Europe. The testing was going so well. And I would just say, like, their flexibility of me asking for things and them getting it done, and, me wanting different things that maybe they don't, keep in stock, but they would get for me, or they would allow me to purchase carts without, certain hubs or certain wheels, seats, anything that I pretty much wanted, they would let me do, where many of the bigger manufacturers wouldn't. They say you could buy the cart this way, and that's the only way you can buy it. And I wasn't about that. I wanted every little thing my way.